The Galactic Council was in session, a grand gathering of alien leaders from many planets. Bright lights shone on the dais where the council members sat, each representing a different species. The air buzzed with excitement and chatter as everyone awaited the latest reports on interstellar travel. Among them, Sarah, a young human captain, felt a mix of nerves and anticipation. The council was known for its respect towards advanced technology, and today's topic was interstellar ships. As the meeting began, an alien called Zorak, with shimmering scales and a booming voice, stood up to present his findings. "Look at these human ships," he exclaimed, pointing at a holographic image of a bulky, old-fashioned human spacecraft. "They are slow. They cannot keep up with our sleek, fast vessels. We are leagues ahead in technology." Laughter erupted in the chamber. Alien leaders exchanged glances and shared snickers, their voices echoing off the walls. Sarah felt her face heat with embarrassment, but she forced herself to remain calm. She had heard comments like this before, but today felt different. It stung more than usual. Zorak's words cut deep, and she clenched her fists at her sides. Another council member, a tall creature with blue skin named Ryloth, joined in. "Yes, we all know that humans are behind. Their ships are like ancient relics. They are not meant for the fast-paced galaxy we live in today." More laughter followed, and Sarah's heart sank. She glanced around the room, noticing the smug expressions on the alien leaders' faces. They believed they were superior, and it made her blood boil. "Why are we wasting time on their slow ships?" Ryloth continued, his voice dripping with sarcasm. "They should just stick to their own corner of the galaxy and leave the real space exploration to us." The audience roared with laughter again, and Sarah felt the heat rise in her cheeks. Determined to silence their laughter, Sarah took a deep breath. She knew humans had capabilities that others often overlooked. With every insult thrown at her species, her resolve grew stronger. She thought about the countless hours her team had spent improving their ships, pushing boundaries and creating new technologies. But would anyone ever recognize their efforts? Just then, the council announced an intergalactic race, a competition to showcase the best ships from each species. The aliens cheered, excited about the challenge. Sarah felt a surge of determination. This race could be her chance to prove them wrong. She leaned forward, listening intently as the details unfolded. "We will race across the starfields," Zorak explained. "The fastest ship will win the title of Supreme Explorer of the Galactic Council. Of course, we all know the humans will lose. Their slow ships stand no chance against our advanced technology." He laughed heartily, and his followers joined in. As the laughter echoed around her, Sarah stood up. "Wait!" she called out, her voice ringing with confidence. All eyes turned to her, surprised to see a human daring to speak in front of such powerful beings. "You underestimate us. Humans have innovation and creativity that you haven't even begun to understand." The room fell silent, and Sarah felt her heart pounding. "We may not have the fastest ships right now, but we have something special in the works." Her words hung in the air, daring them to challenge her. "You will see." Zorak frowned, surprised by her boldness. "What do you mean?" he asked, curiosity replacing laughter for a moment. "I mean," Sarah replied, her voice steady, "we have a secret project that could change everything." She felt a rush of pride as she spoke. "You will find out soon enough. Prepare yourselves!" With that, she sat back down, feeling a mixture of fear and excitement. As the meeting continued, Sarah's mind raced with ideas. She knew she had to rally her team back on Earth and work tirelessly. They could create something that would not only match the alien ships, but also astonish the entire council. This was her chance to turn the ridicule into respect. The council members returned to their discussions, but Sarah's heart was no longer filled with doubt. She was ready to fight back against the mockery, and this race would be the stage for her triumph. The aliens might think they had the upper hand, but they had no idea what humans were capable of. And with that, the story of the race began. After the Galactic Council meeting, Sarah felt a fire burning inside her. The laughter and ridicule of the alien leaders still echoed in her mind, but now she had a plan. She rushed back to Earth, determined to show them that humans were more than just their slow ships. As she arrived at the spaceport, she gathered her team of engineers and scientists. In the meeting room, Sarah looked at her team, their faces a mix of excitement and concern. "We have to do something amazing," she declared, her voice filled with energy. "The aliens think we're not capable of fast travel, but we can surprise them." The team leaned in, intrigued by her words. "What do you have in mind, Captain?" asked Alex, a skilled engineer known for his inventive ideas. Sarah took a deep breath. "We need to develop the wormhole drive." The room fell silent for a moment, and then the murmurs began. "The wormhole drive? Is that even possible?" asked Lena, one of the lead scientists. She looked skeptical, but Sarah could see a spark of interest in her eyes. "Absolutely. It's a technology that allows ships to create shortcuts in space. We can travel vast distances in seconds," Sarah explained, her enthusiasm growing. "Imagine zipping through a wormhole and appearing right in front of the alien ships. We could win the race and gain their respect. But building something like that will be difficult," Alex cautioned. "We'll need advanced materials and a lot of time. The race is just around the corner." Sarah nodded, but her determination only grew stronger. "I know it's a challenge, but we have to try. We can't let them think we're inferior. Let's work day and night if we have to." The team exchanged looks of resolve. They were used to pushing boundaries and overcoming obstacles. With a shared sense of purpose, they got to work. As the team dove into the project, they faced many obstacles. The design for the wormhole drive was complex, and they struggled with calculations and simulations. Lena led the team in testing the energy sources they would need to power the drive. Alex worked on designing the ship's structure to withstand the pressures of traveling through a wormhole. Every day was a race against time. The team met late into the night, fueled by coffee and adrenaline. Sarah encouraged them through every setback, reminding them of the stakes. "This is about more than just winning a race. It's about proving who we are." One night, while the team was deep in discussion, Lena suddenly exclaimed, "I think I have it. We can use a combination of quantum energy and modified warp technology. It might just work." Excitement surged through the room as they gathered around Lena's screen to look at her new calculations. "This is it," Sarah said, her heart racing with hope. "If we can get the materials we need and build a prototype, we can test it before the race." The team sprang into action. They divided tasks among themselves, gathering the necessary resources from different parts of the spaceport. They worked tirelessly, often taking turns resting only for a few hours at a time. As days passed, the project progressed, but the pressure mounted. Sarah constantly reminded herself that they were not just building a drive, they were building their future. She envisioned the day when they would prove the aliens wrong and show them the power of human innovation. Finally, the day of the prototype test arrived. The team gathered around their ship, now modified with the newly designed wormhole drive. Sarah's heart raced with excitement and anxiety. "This is our moment," she said, looking at her team. "Let's make history." As they powered up the ship, a hum filled the air. The lights on the control panel flickered, and the ship shook gently. Sarah felt a surge of pride. They had come so far, and now it was time to see if their hard work would pay off. "Ready on my mark!" she shouted, adrenaline coursing through her veins. 3, 2, 1, activate! With that, the wormhole drive roared to life. A bright light enveloped the ship, and in an instant they were gone, disappearing into a swirling portal. As they emerged on the other side, cheers erupted in the cabin. They had done it. They had created the wormhole drive. Sarah's heart soared with hope and determination. They were ready for the race, and the aliens would never see it coming. Now the stage was set, and all they had to do was show the galaxy what humans could achieve. The day of the race had finally arrived, and excitement filled the air. Alien ships of all shapes and sizes hovered above the starting line, their sleek designs glimmering in the light of distant stars. Crowds of alien spectators filled the viewing areas, buzzing with energy and anticipation. Meanwhile, Sarah and her team stood beside their ship, the newly equipped human vessel, a mix of hope and nervousness washing over them. As they prepared for the race, Sarah took a moment to gaze at the other ships. There were the fast and shiny vessels from the Zorak clan, known for their incredible speed and maneuverability. There were also the heavy, battle-ready ships from the Ryloth species, boasting thick armor and powerful weapons. Sarah felt a twinge of doubt, but she quickly pushed it aside. They had something special, the wormhole drive. "Captain, are we ready?" Alex asked, checking the systems one last time. His face was focused but hopeful. Sarah nodded, her determination solid. "We're ready. Remember, we're not just here to compete, we're here to show them what humans can do." The team cheered, and she felt a wave of confidence wash over her. As the countdown began, Sarah could feel the tension in the air. The council officials raised their arms, signaling the start of the race. 3, 2, 1, go! The sound of the starting signal echoed through space, and the ships surged forward. Immediately, the alien ships shot ahead, their engines roaring with power. Sarah gripped the controls, watching as her team focused intently on their screens. They were quickly left behind, the human ship appearing small and slow compared to the alien vessels zooming through the stars. Sarah's heart raced as the gap between them widened. "Keep an eye on the coordinates," she shouted to Lena, who was monitoring their position. "We need to be ready to activate the wormhole drive at just the right moment." Lena nodded, her fingers flying over the controls. "I'm on it, Captain!" "Just say the word." As they raced through the starfield, Sarah tried to stay calm, but doubt crept in. Would their plan work? Would the wormhole drive actually give them the edge they needed? All around her, the alien ships flew confidently, leaving them in the dust. "Watch out!" Alex suddenly yelled. A Zorak ship zoomed past them, almost colliding with their vessel. Sarah swerved to avoid it, her heart pounding. "Stay focused! We can't let them distract us!" The alien ships continued to pull ahead, their pilots laughing and celebrating their speed. The council members watched from a distance, some of them shaking their heads in disbelief at the humans' slow performance. Sarah could almost hear the laughter ringing in her ears, but she refused to let it get to her. "Now, Sarah!" Lena called, breaking through her thoughts. "We're approaching the halfway point. It's time!" Taking a deep breath, Sarah nodded. "Activate the wormhole drive!" Lena pressed the button, and the ship began to hum with energy. A bright light filled the cockpit, and the stars around them began to swirl and distort. Sarah could feel the excitement and tension build. This was their chance. In an instant, the ship disappeared into the wormhole, and everything went dark. For a brief moment, they felt weightless, suspended in a place between places. Sarah's heart raced with anticipation. Would they emerge successfully? Suddenly, the darkness gave way to a burst of light, and they shot out of the wormhole right in front of the lead alien ships. The view was breathtaking, a dazzling display of stars and colors, but Sarah didn't have time to admire it. "Hold on!" she shouted as she slammed down on the throttle. Their ship surged forward with new power, the aliens stunned as they realized what had just happened. The humans zipped past the shocked alien vessels, their expressions a mix of disbelief and horror. Sarah and her team cheered, adrenaline pumping through their veins as they raced ahead. They had done it. The wormhole drive had worked, and now they were in the lead. "Keep going, don't let up," Sarah urged, focusing on the finish line ahead. The cheers from her team filled the cabin as they flew through the stars, their ship cutting through space with newfound speed. But the race was not over yet. The alien ships quickly regrouped, and Sarah could see them adjusting their course to chase after her. They would not give up easily. As the finish line approached, Sarah felt a mix of excitement and fear. The aliens were gaining on them, and she knew they had to maintain their lead. "Stay sharp, everyone! We need to keep this momentum." The alien ships were closing in, but Sarah's determination burned bright. This race was about more than just victory. It was about proving humanity's strength. As they crossed the finish line, she felt a rush of pride. They had come so far, and now the galaxy would finally see what humans were capable of. With a final burst of speed, they soared through the finish line, leaving the aliens in shock. Sarah and her team had made their mark, and the journey was only just beginning. After their shocking victory in the race, Sarah and her team were filled with adrenaline and excitement. They had proven that humans could compete with the advanced technology of the Galactic Council. As their ship drifted into the docking bay, they were met with astonished faces from the alien spectators. The crowd buzzed with disbelief, and the council members exchanged nervous glances. Sarah stepped out of the ship, her heart still racing. She felt a sense of pride swell in her chest. They had done the impossible. Her team joined her, cheers echoing around them as they celebrated their achievement. They were no longer the underdogs, they were champions. "Captain!" Alex exclaimed, grabbing her shoulder. "Did you see their faces? They can't believe we won!" His eyes sparkled with excitement. "Yes, and it's only just begun," Sarah replied, her mind racing with possibilities. "We need to show them what else we can do with the wormhole drive." Just then, Zorak approached, his expression a mix of anger and curiosity. "You humans have surprised us. I must admit I underestimated your capabilities," he said, trying to regain his composure. But winning a race is one thing. What else can your technology do? Sarah smiled confidently. The wormhole drive is not just for racing. It has the potential to change space travel forever. We can create routes across the galaxy, making travel faster and safer for everyone. She could see the wheels turning in Zorak's mind, and she knew she had their attention. Interesting, Zorak replied slowly, considering her words. But it sounds risky. How do you know it's safe? You could easily cause destruction with such power. Sarah took a deep breath. We've done extensive testing. The risks are manageable. We just need the right conditions and proper safety protocols. She glanced at her team, who nodded in agreement, their faces serious and determined. Then let us see it in action, Zorak challenged, crossing his arms. Show us how this wormhole drive works, and perhaps we will reconsider our views on human technology. Sarah's heart raced. This was it. She turned to her team. Are we ready for a demonstration? She asked. The team looked at one another, then back at her with nods of determination. Let's do it! Lena shouted, her eyes sparkling with excitement. The group made their way back to the ship, where they prepared for the demonstration. Sarah sat in the captain's chair, and the team took their positions. She could feel the weight of the council's scrutiny on her shoulders. This was not just about proving themselves anymore. It was about showcasing humanity's ingenuity. Systems ready? Alex called out, his fingers dancing over the controls. We'll perform a short jump through a controlled wormhole to demonstrate its safety and efficiency. As the ship powered up, Sarah felt a mix of nerves and excitement. Here we go, she said, glancing at the council members watching intently from their seats. Activating the wormhole drive in 3, 2, 1, Lena announced. With a surge of energy, the ship lit up and a bright light enveloped them once again. For a brief moment, everything was dark. Then they shot out of the wormhole, emerging near a nearby planet. The view was stunning, vibrant colors stretching across the horizon, but there was no time to admire it. Did you see that? Sarah shouted, her heart racing with exhilaration. We just traveled light years in the blink of an eye. The council members exchanged glances, their expressions shifting from skepticism to astonishment. Zorak's eyes widened, and for a moment he was speechless. That was incredible, he finally said, shaking his head in disbelief. As they floated near the planet, Sarah turned back to her team. Let's take it one step further. We need to show them how the wormhole drive can work in different scenarios. Lena, can you set up for another jump? Lena quickly began inputting coordinates. How about we demonstrate a longer jump back to the race start point? Perfect, Sarah exclaimed. Let's show them we can go anywhere in an instant. The team prepared once more, and Lena called out the countdown. 3, 2, 1, engage! The ship hummed with power, and once again they disappeared into the wormhole. Moments later, they emerged back at the starting line of the race. The council members looked stunned, their jaws dropped in amazement. The humans had traveled across vast distances effortlessly. As the ship settled back in the docking bay, the air was thick with tension. The council members slowly approached, still in shock. Your technology, it is remarkable, Zorak finally admitted, a hint of respect in his voice. You have changed our perception of humanity. Sarah smiled, feeling a sense of accomplishment wash over her. They had not only proven themselves in the race, but had also showcased the potential of human technology. The journey was far from over, but this was a crucial step in changing the galaxy's view of humans. With newfound respect from the council, Sarah and her team were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The real adventure was just beginning. The atmosphere in the docking bay was electric. The aliens, once filled with laughter and doubt, now stood in respectful silence as Sarah and her team emerged from their ship. The wormhole drive demonstration had transformed the council's perception of humanity. No longer were they seen as slow and weak, they were innovators and pioneers. As the team stepped down from their ship, Zorak approached Sarah, his expression serious but respectful. You have proven that humans are more than just stories and myths. Your technology is impressive, he said, extending his hand. I apologize for my earlier skepticism. Sarah shook his hand firmly, a smile spreading across her face. Thank you, Zorak. We're proud of what we've achieved, and we're eager to share it with the galaxy. Behind Zorak, other council members began to gather, their eyes shining with curiosity and admiration. They wanted to learn more about the wormhole drive and how it could benefit their species. For Sarah, this was a turning point. She could see the possibilities stretching out before them. "Captain, what's next?" Alex asked, his excitement bubbling over. "We need to open a dialogue about sharing our technology," Sarah replied, her mind racing. The wormhole drive could change how all species travel and interact. If we work together, we can build a better future. As they discussed the potential for collaboration, Lena stepped forward. "We should establish safety protocols and guidelines for using the wormhole drive. We want to ensure it's used responsibly." Zorak nodded. "A wise suggestion. We have regulations in place for our technologies, and we can work together to create a framework for yours. This will ensure safety for all species involved." Sarah felt a wave of hope wash over her. For the first time, humans were being treated as equals among the stars. They were no longer viewed as the underdogs, but as valuable partners in the galactic community. Days passed as they worked with the Council to finalize agreements on technology sharing and collaboration. Humans and aliens collaborated, brainstorming ideas and sharing knowledge. The atmosphere buzzed with excitement as they explored new possibilities together. During one meeting, a representative from the Ryloth species, a large armored figure named Thrax, spoke up. "We have been wary of humans, but I see potential in this partnership. Your wormhole drive can assist in trade and communication across the galaxy." Sarah nodded, encouraged by Thrax's words. "Exactly. Imagine a network of trade routes connecting our worlds. We can help each other thrive." As discussions continued, Sarah felt a growing sense of camaraderie between the species. They were no longer adversaries, they were allies, each bringing unique strengths to the table. One afternoon, as they wrapped up a particularly productive meeting, Zorak approached Sarah with a thoughtful expression. "I believe we should hold a ceremony to recognize this new partnership," he suggested. "It will symbolize the respect we now share." Sarah's heart swelled with pride. "I think that's a fantastic idea. It will show everyone that we're ready to move forward together." Plans were made for a grand ceremony to celebrate their newfound alliance. Invitations were sent across the galaxy, and excitement spread like wildfire. It was a historic moment for both humans and aliens. On the day of the ceremony, the venue was filled with dignitaries from different species. Colorful banners adorned the walls, and music filled the air. Sarah stood alongside her team, dressed in their best uniforms, feeling both nervous and proud. Zorak stepped up to the podium, his voice booming across the crowd. "Today marks a new era, an era of cooperation and respect. Humans have shown us their true potential, and we are excited to work together for a brighter future." The crowd erupted in cheers, and Sarah felt tears of joy prick her eyes. They had come so far from being ridiculed to being celebrated. It was a moment she would never forget. After the speeches, Sarah took the stage to address the crowd. "Thank you for believing in us. This is just the beginning. Together we will explore new worlds and unlock the secrets of the universe. We are ready to build a future where all species thrive." The crowd cheered again, and Sarah's heart soared. She could see the faces of her team, their expressions filled with pride and excitement. They had proven themselves, and now they were part of something much larger. As the ceremony continued, friendships began to form between species. Humans laughed and shared stories with their alien counterparts. The barriers that once separated them were slowly fading away, replaced by trust and respect. In the days that followed, Sarah and her team worked closely with the Council, laying the groundwork for a bright future. They shared ideas, knowledge, and technology, paving the way for a new era of exploration and cooperation. As Sarah looked out at the stars, she felt a deep sense of hope. They had faced challenges and doubts, but they had triumphed. The galaxy was now open to them, and together they would reach new heights. The adventure had just begun, and Sarah knew they were ready to embrace whatever came next.